We've been here about 7 weeks, and it's finally time for our summit push, and I couldn't be more excited. Our goal is to get up and summit and back out of that zone as quickly as we possibly can.
We've been following the wild and exciting journey of these two climbers right here on the record. Professional climbers Cory Richards and Adrian Ballinger documented their Mount Everest climb on Snapchat. Here's a look at some of the best moments.
What camp looks like. You haven't been there in a few days. You really haven't gotten much snow.
It's windy, but it's beautiful. Hey B, giving a big Snapchat. What's up? What's up? It's another Himalayan sunrise. For all you kids out there that think that there are no chores on Everest, that's wrong, there are. My chore right now is to melt water, while Adrian does nothing.
The most popular question we get is how cold is it and how do we stay warm? I'm 6'2" and weigh 140 pounds. I'm cold all the time. Nighttime temps probably drop down to, between 0 and -30 at night. -30 in the higher camps, 0 in the lower camps. But either way, every night I am on the edge of really cold.
And now they're both back at sea level. So how did the climb go? Cory Richards and Adrian Ballinger go on the record. Nice to see both of you.
Thanks for having us. Great to see you.
Okay. It was so exciting. I mean, it's like, it's the easy way for the rest of us to go climb Mount Everest is to watch your Snapchat. But let me start with you, Cory. Cory, what surprised you the most about the climb?
I've been on Everest before. I think what surprised me the most really was how not crowded the north side is. It's very, very different than the south side. I've always gone from the south side, and that's has its own set of complications. And being in Tibet was a totally different experience. You actually drive all the way to base camp, and then you sort of have this beautiful view of the whole route, and you start up. It's very, very different.
Adrian, you had hypothermia. And tell me, how difficult is it to have that? And was there, would you go back?
To climb the mountain without supplemental oxygen like Cory and I were trying to do, it is incredibly cold. I knew that would be my greatest challenge. And when my core temperature started dropping on summit day, it became really dangerous for me. I got scared, and I'm very glad I turned around. And absolutely, I'm already dreaming about going back.
Cory, when I look at the Snapchat, I think to myself, I wonder what about how the first climbers, what they would think. For instance, Edmund Hillary, it's been about 63 years since he climbed it. What they would think about the Snapchat. What do you think?
Well, I think that's actually a great question. We use the means that we have in any given time, and I think honestly we have sort of a nostalgic attachment to these times when people would go out and nothing, they wouldn't talk to home for months on end. But realistically, in all likelihood, had Snapchat existed or Instagram existed, they would have been using it as well. It's a storytelling tool, and we love to tell stories about the mountains. And I think that's something that people sort of miss. The nostalgia is it's created. It's not necessarily what was happening.
Adrian, is it quiet?
The mountain itself?
Yeah, is it quiet up there? So, is it one of those that, sometimes I've been in snow, it's so quiet it seems loud, but what's it like up there?
Yeah, it's an incredibly beautiful place, but certainly on summit day we had a lot of wind and blowing snow. It really wasn't quiet. It's a pretty violent place sometimes, and I really felt that on our summit day.
So, Cory, there was no time of peace? It was always, freezing cold and violent weather?
There's times of peace. You find that peace in your tent. You find that peace at night, at quiet nights. But honestly, you are very focused on sort of survival. And honestly, it's, your brain is sort of preoccupied by that. And I think there's some noise in that. So you don't necessarily register that. I was on the summit for 3 minutes before turning around and coming down because that's all the time you have.
That's incredible. 3 minutes for all that work. Anyway, it was an amazing journey, and thank you for capturing it on Snapchat. Cory, Adrian, thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.